Chapter 341, Blood Soul Mark. Wine Master walked towards Jian Wushuang and the others. "Swordsman, my little friend, you've really impressed me today," Wine Master smiled and said. "Swordsman, I really admire what you've done." Lady Black also looked at Jian Wushuang. Third brother, there was a hint of happiness on both Wang Yuan and Yang Zixuan's faces. Even they didn't expect too much from Jian Wushuang when the 7 experts of the Saint Realm joined the battle. But Jian Wushuang just smiled slightly, looked at Wine Master, and asked, "Do you know about this mark, Wine Master?" "I know what it is," Wine Master said and nodded, but his face looked serious as he continued. "That's a unique trick of Holy Emperor Palace, the Blood Soul Mark. The Blood Soul Mark is more like a curse." "A curse?" Jian Wushuang was shocked. "It's almost the same as a curse, but the Blood Soul Mark will not hurt you directly. It has only one purpose, which is to make sure you have nowhere to hide." Wine Master explained to him. "Once you've been cursed with the Blood Soul Mark, it will consistently release a formless power that any expert who has mastered the Blood Soul Mark will be able to sense your location easily." Jian Wushuang's face changed. "So, you mean Holy Emperor Palace can easily track down third brother?" Yang Zixuan promptly asked. "Yes." Wine Master nodded his head seriously and continued, "The Blood Soul Mark is designed for hunting or revenge. So, many people in Holy Emperor Palace have cultivated the skill. Those experts use it when they meet danger outside. When they are about to be killed by someone, they will use the skill to cast the Blood Soul Mark on the enemy, and then the other experts in Holy Emperor Palace will find the enemy and kill him. It really is a special skill. Mo Yun knew that he would die. Therefore, he cast the Blood Soul Mark on you when he was dying so that the experts in Holy Emperor Palace will be able to track you down and take revenge." "Master, can the Blood Soul Mark be erased?" Yang Zixuan furrowed his eyebrows and asked. "It can be erased," Wine Master nodded, but then signed and said, "It is easy to get rid of it. The Blood Soul Mark can be erased by simply using spiritual power, but this method takes a long time. Under normal circumstances, it would take at least 1 month to remove it completely." "A month?" Yang Zixuan's eyes darkened and he said, "Holy Emperor Palace will have tracked him down within a month." "Indeed. So, Swordsman, my little friend, you are in big trouble this time," Wine Master said solemnly. "Big trouble?" Jian Wushuang agreed secretly. He knew that, since he was cursed with the Blood Soul Mark, Holy Emperor Palace would be able to find him without a hitch. Holy Emperor Palace's wish to kill him was abundantly clear. Moreover, Jian Wushuang killed 7 of their Saint Realm experts, so once Holy Emperor Palace heard the news, it would not leave him any chance to survive. In fact, it was because Holy Emperor Palace knew so little about Huan Wushuang's strength that they lost these 7 Saint Realm experts. However, the next time Holy Emperor Palace took action, it would be totally different. "Third brother, what are you planning to do?" Wang Yuan and Yang Zixuan looked at Jian Wushuang. "What can I do? They will chase me down and overpower me with numbers," Jian Wushuang said and smiled indifferently. "Let's talk about that later. First, we should leave here and find a place where little sister can rest." "All right," Wang Yuan and the others all nodded. Then they began to walk away, exiting Ice Nether Valley. There was an enormous amount of experts standing on the drill ground, including the experts from Ice Nether Valley, but none of them dared to block their path. They only stood there silently and watched them leave. The whole drill ground burst into an uproar as soon as Jian Wushuang and his companions were gone. He left. That monster finally left. So terrifying. A person at the peak of the Yang Void Realm actually killed the 7 Saint Realm experts from Holy Emperor Palace. Incredible. Ha. Holy Emperor Palace suffered a great loss this time. 7 Saint Realm experts. And they all mastered domain. Even Holy Emperor Palace will be distressed. It is not over yet. Mo Yun placed the Blood Soul Mark on Jian Wushuang, so he cannot escape for at least 1 month. Holy Emperor Palace will definitely try to kill him again. But they sent 7 Saint Realm experts this time. Since they were all killed by Jian Wushuang, who will Holy Emperor Palace send to kill him next time? As far as I'm concerned, Jian Wushuang's strength has already reached the pinnacle of the Saint Realm. Normal Saint Realm experts, even those who have mastered domain, will not be a threat to him. If Holy Emperor Palace wishes to kill him, they will have to get some holy masters to do it. Holy masters? The 4 holy masters of Holy Emperor Palace? Wow, those 4 old monsters. I'm really looking forward to it. The whole drill ground was in chaos as all the experts were busy talking and analyzing the situation. Their conversations were all about Jian Wushuang and Holy Emperor Palace, while few of them cared about Ice Nether Valley anymore. Compared to Jian Wushuang killing the 7 Saint Realm experts of Holy Emperor Palace by himself, the death of Yi Chen in Ice Nether Valley was not an issue. Those experts were all stunned and filled with expectations for what would happen in the future. Except for one man in the crowd, who was extremely terrified. That man was Nai Wuxin. That boy's strength. So horrific. Nai Wuxin was still in shock as he kept mentally replaying the scene where Jian Wushuang killed the 7 Saint Realm experts. He had just had some conflicts with Jian Wushuang last night. He even tried to force Huan Wushuang into giving him the leaf from the World Tree. He had paid no attention to Jian Wushuang and Kai Mai, but what he saw today at the drill ground scared him to death. His nerves were on edge, worrying that Jian Wushuang would kill him directly. Only when Jian Wushuang was finally gone did he manage to catch his breath. Fortunately, he didn't notice me. He didn't. Nai Wuxin was filled with fear after what happened, so he hastened the strong man with purple hair who was also still in a great shock and said, "Go. Let's go back right now." Nai Wuxin didn't want to stay in Ice Nether Valley any longer. However, as he was leaving Ice Nether Valley, just as he had exited the gate, Shua, a gloomy old figure blocked his path. The old man was Kai Mai. He looked at Nai Wuxin with a hint of a cold smile on his face. "Master Wuxin? What a coincidence. Why are you in such a hurry? Where are you going?" I. Seeing Kai Mai in front of him, Nai Wuxin began to falter and he almost wet his pants in terror. Even the strong man with purple hair next to him was frightened into a cold sweat. Little bastard, I refrained from killing you because I was restrained by Swordsman, but now there is nothing standing in my way." Kai Mai's voice was cold. Then, in the next second, he abruptly took action. In a mere flash, Nai Wuxin and the strong man with purple hair became 2 corpses. Chapter 342, The 4 Holy Masters. The battle in Ice Nether Valley, especially the news of Jian Wushuang killing 7 Saint Realm experts by himself, spread rapidly like a hurricane. The entire Nanyang continent was shocked by it. Jian Wushuang was also remembered by all the experts in Nanyang continent as an incredible monster-like warrior. In a town near Ice Nether Valley lied a contact point for alchemy school. Jian Wushuang and others were staying there for now. In the hall of the contact point, Jian Wushuang and Yang Zixuan sat by a table, waiting in silence. Before long, Wang Yuan and Wine Master walked in. "How is little sister?" Jian Wushuang instantly asked. "She will be fine," Wine Master smiled and said, "that little girl has a very special constitution. Even I can't decipher its secrets. Her heart and soul, though they were damaged a lot, will recover over time. So it's not a big deal." "That's great," Jian Wushuang said and nodded while finally feeling relieved. "Third brother, the person you should be worrying about right now is not little sister, but yourself." Wang Yuan looked at Huan Wushuang with a serious look and said, "What you're facing right now is far more serious than little sister. You have to figure out what to do." "That's true. Holy Emperor Palace is not a force to be trifled with," Wine Master said directly to Jian Wushuang. "Holy Emperor Palace is like an overlord of Nanyang. Although they are always ranked the same as Alchemy School, they are in fact slightly superior to Alchemy School, no matter in history, culture, or overall strength. Although this time you killed 7 of their Saint Realm experts, which is a great loss to them, you still didn't weaken their core strength at all. What's more, now that Holy Emperor Palace knows your actual strength, they won't leave you any chances. Once they move, they will make sure to take your life. If I am not wrong, Holy Emperor Palace will send one of their 4 Holy Masters to kill you." "4 Holy Masters?" Jian Wushuang asked and raised his eyebrows. Previously, he had heard Mo Yun speak about the 2nd Holy Master, who must be one of the 4 Holy Masters. The 4 Holy Masters. How should I put it? They are strong and dreadful, Wine Master said solemnly. Jian Wushuang squinted. He knew that Wine Master was a super expert who had reached the pinnacle. His strength would definitely be ranked at the top in the Nanyang continent. The Great Elder, a warrior with the greatest strength out of all those experts, was just like Foam Daoyang of Ice Nether Valley. He was only equal to Wine Master in the aspect of battle strength. With his battle strength, Wine Master should be unrivaled in the Nanyang continent, but he called the 4 Holy Masters dreadful, so the 4 Holy Masters should be exceptionally strong. The 4 Holy Masters of Holy Emperor Palace are indeed very powerful, Wang Yuan also commented in a solemn tone. Since he was the young master of the alchemy school, and alchemy school had many conflicts with Holy Emperor Palace over the years, he knew a lot about Holy Emperor Palace. I've heard from my father that each of the 4 Holy Masters have truly reached the pinnacle, and have lived for hundreds of years. Their cultivations are immeasurable, and each one of them can easily eliminate a top sect. Moreover, the 4 Holy Masters are ranked by their battle strength from the 1st to the 4th. The 4th Holy Master is a little weaker, while the 3rd Holy Master is slightly superior to him. The 2nd Holy Master is even stronger. As for 1st Holy Master, he is truly an old monster, and is regarded by many people as the strongest expert in Nanyang continent. Jian Wushuang was shocked after hearing this. The 4 Holy Masters were all experts who had reached the pinnacle. Even in Ice Nether Valley, the strongest among the 3 valleys, there was only one supreme expert that had reached the pinnacle. I've met 2nd Holy Master and 4th Holy Master before, and had fought with 4th Holy Master. But I lost the battle, Wine Master said. What? Jian Wushuang, Wang Yuan, and Yang Zixuan were all shocked. Even Wine Master couldn't beat 4th Holy Master, the weakest of the Holy Masters? Don't doubt it, all 4 Holy Masters have lived longer than me. In addition, the amount of manuals and treasures in Holy Emperor Palace is enormous. So it's normal for them to be stronger than me, even though we are at the same level of cultivation. Especially 1st Holy Master, who is indeed a legend. But it would be an exaggeration to call him the strongest expert of Nanyang continent. Wine Master smiled and said, "Is there anyone who is stronger than 1st Holy Master?" Wang Yuan looked at Wine Master. Of course, Wine Master chuckled and said, "Nanyang continent is not as simple as you think. On the surface, Alchemy School and Holy Emperor Palace are indisputable overlords with connections to all the strongest experts. However, in fact, those top experts all know that there is one person in Nanyang continent who is far beyond their reach," Wine Master said. Who? Jian Wushuang, Wang Yuan, and Yang Zixuan immediately looked at Wine Master. They were all eager to hear about the expert who was truly the strongest in the Nanyang continent. This person is the mysterious monarch of Tang dynasty. Wine Master said. Him. Jian Wushuang was surprised. The monarch of the Tang dynasty is stronger than 1st Holy Master? Wang Yuan was also shocked. Believe me, Wine Master smiled and said, "You are all young, so there are many things you don't know about. Even you, Wan Yuan. Although you are the young master of the alchemy school, you are not your father, so what you know is limited. But an old fellow like me knows some things. Many old freaks like me know that the most horrifying power in Nanyang continent is neither Holy Emperor Palace nor alchemy school, but the monarch of Tang dynasty. He is the reason why none of the sects or powerful forces dare to meddle with the Tang dynasty. He, as one person, is much scarier than the whole Holy Emperor Palace. There is a saying among us old freaks, the monarch of Tang can fight against all of Nanyang." Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang and the others were astonished. A man who was strong enough to fight the whole Nanyang continent by himself? Though it sounds a little exaggerated, it still showed the monstrous strength of the monarch of Tang dynasty. "It seems like I looked down on Nanyang continent," Jian Wushuang smiled and sighed to himself. He always thought that the monarch of Tang dynasty was mysterious, but he had no idea that the monarch had such horrifying power. All right. That's enough talk about him. What you need to worry about is the 4 Holy Masters. We don't know which one Holy Emperor Palace will send to kill you." Wine Master looked at Jian Wushuang and said, "Your strength is nearly equal to mine, so you will stand a chance to surviving if Holy Emperor Palace sends 4th Holy Master. But you will be in trouble if Holy Emperor Palace sends 3rd Holy Master to go after you." Chapter 343. Which Holy Master? Jian Wushuang listened carefully to Wine Master with a solemn face. He knew what Wine Master said was true. The main reason he was able to kill the 7 Saint Realm experts of Holy Emperor Palace alone was that he had used Road to the Underworld and Bridge of Helplessness to limit their abilities. Without those skills, his battle strength was only about the same as Wine Master, if not weaker. However, among the 4 Holy Masters of Holy Emperor Palace, even the weakest one, the 4th Holy Master, was stronger than Wine Master. Third bro, I have sent a message to my father asking him to protect you. Wang Yuan said, I have mentioned you many times. But you were not strong enough to draw his attention. Now things should be different. You have shown your great talent by killing those 7 Saint Realm experts on your own at such a young age, so Alchemy School will attach more importance to you. Besides, you and Holy Emperor Palace are deadly enemies. Keeping you alive benefits Alchemy School. So he should agree. Jian Wushuang took a look at Wang Yuan and nodded slightly. There will be a reply within a day or 2. I only hope Holy Emperor Palace doesn't come to kill you before then, Wang Yuan said. He believed Alchemy School would step in to protect Jian Wushuang. From what he knew of his father, he believed he was right. They waited quietly at the contact place. In the Alchemy School. Among the lofty palaces, the Alchemy School's sect master and several high-powered elders gathered in the central palace, talking about whether they should step in to protect Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang, such a young man, killed the 7 Saint Realm experts of Holy Emperor Palace alone. Amazing. Young master is lucky to have made such a friend in a weak dynasty. But such a genius doesn't belong to the Alchemy School. The elders were expressing some amazement and wonder. On the chair above, a middle-aged man with a mustache, wearing a purple robe, sat coldly. Looking carefully, he physically resembled Wang Yuan. The fat middle-aged man was Wang Yuan's father, the Alchemy School's sect master, Wang Yang. He really is a genius. Wang Yang marveled at it, but he secretly shook his head and then said, unfortunately, we can't protect him. Hearing that, elders in front of Wang Yang became silent. It was true, they couldn't. If it were anyone else, Alchemy School would extend its hand. But Jian Wushuang was a special case. They had agreed that the Alchemy School would never stand between Holy Emperor Palace and Jian Wushuang. Never. Tell Wang Yuan, Alchemy School will not step in. Bring him some elixirs, that's the only thing we can do. Wang Yang sighed helplessly. Holy Emperor Palace, an overlord of Nanyang, located on a large island. There were mountains and rivers on the island, with many pavilions rising from the center of those mountains. On the top floor of a pavilion, the Holy Emperor Palace Master and more than 10 elders had gathered. The current mood was very subdued because they had just received the news about the 7 Saint Realm experts who had been killed by Jian Wushuang. By Jian Wushuang alone. 7. We only have so many in total, but we lost 7 of them this time, an elder of the Holy Emperor Palace shouted sadly and angrily. The other elders also looked pale. Saint Realm experts were the most important forces of a sect. That was true even for Holy Emperor Palace. It was a big loss for Holy Emperor Palace. The dead are dead, Holy Emperor Palace Master, Yi Qianming said in a deep voice. What we should worry about is Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang. The mere mention of his name made the elders of Holy Emperor Palace narrow their eyes. Only a year ago, Jian Wushuang had just been a boy that they paid little attention to. However, he had made incredible progress in 1 year. He improved at such an amazing speed. Most importantly, he was so young. According to the information, Jian Wushuang was only 22 years old now. A young man who was only 22 years old had killed 7 of Holy Emperor Palace's Saint Realm experts on his own. What did that mean? Elder Mo Yun left these words before he died. Yi Qianming's eyes were cold as he said, if we don't kill him now, he will bring a great disaster to us one day. He is right. Jian Wushuang is still young. But he has improved at such a fast pace, way too fast. He already has these achievements at such a young age, only 22 years old. In a few years, won't he be able to easily destroy Holy Emperor Palace? Kill him. Send him to hell. The elders in the pavilion were all furious. I'm afraid we won't be able to kill him ourselves. We will need to ask for help from the 4 Holy Masters, an elder said. I will ask them immediately, Yi Qianming said. Yi Qianming and the elders quickly went to the foot of a giant mountain, where a cyan-clothed boy was waiting quietly. Yi Qianming took out a piece of paper and a writing brush, then he wrote a letter and gave it to the cyan-clothed boy. "Please wait a moment, Palace Master." The cyan-clothed boy took the letter and walked along the road to the giant mountain. Yi Qianming and the elders waited while the elders secretly discussed it. Who do you think they will send? It should be fourth Holy Master. He is strong enough to deal with Jian Wushuang. Any one of them can easily kill Jian Wushuang, but which one does it will depend on who isn't busy at the moment. Anyway, first Holy Master will not do it. That's for sure. Shut up, Yi Qianming shouted deeply. The elders immediately closed their mouths. At the same time, the cyan-clothed boy could be seen walking back. He came to Yi Qianming, bowed, and said, "Palace Master, Second Holy Master said he will be here in 3 days. Second Holy Master? It's going to be Second Holy Master." Yi Qianming and the elders were all shocked. Then they waited quietly for 3 days. 3 days later, a slender elder in a black robe arrived. He was the Second Holy Master. Chapter 344, 3-Day Drunk. At the contact place for alchemy school. In the courtyard, Jian Wushuang was practicing his sword arts while Yang Zixuan and Su Ru sat quietly at a table on the side. Though Su Ru had regained consciousness, she still looked pale and sad. Apparently, she hadn't recovered from the heavy blow yet. She had been so shocked by Yi Chen's betrayal that it had even affected her physically, and she had yet to recover. "Third bro." A voice was heard and Wang Yuan ran in. Jian Wushuang stopped and looked over at Wang Yuan. "Any news?"
Eminencia.
Wang Yuan nodded, but he was hesitant and nervous as he said, "My father said the alchemy school won't step in." "What?" Yang Zixuan and Su Ru were surprised. This time, Holy Emperor Palace would definitely send one of their holy masters. If alchemy school didn't help them, how could they defend against them? Jian Wushuang just raised his brows while listening to the news. There was no sorrow or happiness on his face. "I don't understand his decision either. I asked him repeatedly, but he only told me that it's not because the alchemy school fears Holy Emperor Palace. It's because of some special circumstances." "So?" Wang Yuan paused and reached out. "Here are 2 elixirs, a spirit recovering elixir and a yin-yang dark dragon elixir. Spirit recovering elixir, the highest level of healing elixir on the Nanyang continent. Even inside the alchemy school, no one can refine it. The elixir helps restore spiritual power and can quickly recover from a wound, which can be very useful in your life is on the line. Yin-yang dark dragon elixir. It can increase your strength for a short period of time, but it has a small side effect. My father asked me to give them to you, and he said it's the only thing alchemy school can do to help you." Looking at the elixirs in Wang Yuan's hands, Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. Whether it was the spirit recovering elixir or the yin-yang dark dragon elixir, he knew they were both top-level elixirs. Like magic weapons and manuals, elixirs were also classified into 3 levels. Spirit recovering elixirs were superior 2nd grade. Yin-yang dark dragon elixirs were at a slightly lower grade, medium 2nd grade. On the Nanyang continent, few alchemists could refine these elixirs. Therefore, these 2 elixirs were valuable. "Third bro, I'm sorry." Wang Yuan looked at Jian Wushuang with guilt. "I'm not a disciple of alchemy school and alchemy school has its own concerns. So it's normal. You have nothing to apologize for. What's more, you have given me 2 elixirs, which helps me a lot." Jian Wushuang smiled slightly and accepted the elixirs. He was Wang Yuan's brother, but he had little connection with the alchemy school. He was grateful that the alchemy school gave him a spirit recovering elixir and a yin-yang dark dragon elixir. If he had a chance, he would return the favor. "Don't worry, I will be staying with you. If you die, I will die too. I don't believe my father will still sit by idly," Wang Yuan said in a deep voice. "Don't be silly," Jian Wushuang said, then glanced at Wang Yuan. "I'm staying as well." Yang Zixuan looked at Jian Wushuang. "Third bro," Su Ru gave him a stern look. They were like a family. So, of course, they would live or die together. None of them would abandon the others. Jian Wushuang was greatly touched. He smiled and said, Let's not talk about it anymore. We haven't been gathered together in a long time. Today, let's have a good drink. Okay. Wang Yuan nodded heavily. Today we must have a good drink. They moved to a stone table and Jian Wushuang took out a pot of wine, pouring each one of them a drink. What's this? It smells good. Wang Yuan took a deep breath, smelling the aroma of wine and marveling at it. It does, Yang Zixuan said and nodded. It really was a hard-won wine. Cheers, Jian Wushuang said, then raised his wine and smiled. Wang Yuan, Yang Zixuan, and Su Ru also raised their glasses, then they guzzled them down. However, Jian Wushuang only put it under his nose without drinking it. Third bro, why didn't you drink yours? After emptying his glass, Wang Yuan noticed Jian Wushuang's glass was still full, so he frowned. But his face turned red and he quickly began to feel dizzy. The wine. Wang Yuan's voice became soft, then he fell on the stone table. Third bro, you. Yang Zixuan felt dizzy and foggy. He shook his head fiercely, trying to stay awake, but he fell asleep as well. Su Ru's face was also red. She took a deep look at Jian Wushuang, then she fainted, too. After that drink, everyone was drunk except for Jian Wushuang. I knew it. An old figure walked slowly towards him. Senior wine master, said Jian Wushuang, then he stood up and smiled. How was my 3-day drunk? Wine master asked. It deserves its reputation. They all became drunk after only one drink, Jian Wushuang said. Of course. It was made 1,000 years ago by the best winemaker on the Nanyang continent. One drink can even make me sleep for 3 days, let alone them. Wine master smiled slightly, then he looked seriously at Jian Wushuang. Young man, you really want to confront Holy Emperor Palace by yourself? Yesterday, Jian Wushuang asked Wine Master for a pot of 3-day drunk. Wine Master had realized what Jian Wushuang planned to do. What else can I do? Jian Wushuang asked and smiled in an odd manner. I have no other choice but to face them because of the blood soul mark. But these 3. I understand how they are. If I didn't do this, they would insist on going with me. The resentment is between me and Holy Emperor Palace, so I'll take care of it on my own. There's no need to get them in trouble. Looking at them all, bent over the desk, Jian Wushuang was determined. Even if it was a crisis for Wang Yuan, Yang Zixuan, or Su Ru, he would protect them, let alone his own problems. Be my brothers, we should share our joys, but bear the sorrows, only by me. Chapter 345. Preparations. Since you have decided, I won't say anything. Wine Master looked at Jian Wushuang with a serious face. Then he took out 2 golden-purple light beads, which seemed ordinary but contained an enormous attack power. What are they? Jian Wushuang looked at him in surprise and asked. They are demonic grenades. I got them by chance. Wine Master said, this small bead holds an enormous power with a sophisticated operation method. As long as it recognizes you as its owner, you can detonate it with your mind. I tested one once, and the power it released shocked me. If used properly, a demonic grenade can threaten even a pinnacle Saint Realm expert. The remaining 2 are yours. Consider it a gift, in honor of our relationship. Thank you so much, Jian Wushuang said gratefully. He took the golden-purple light beads and held them in his hands tightly. After sensing the power of the demonic grenades, cruelty rose in his eyes. When will you set off? Wine Master looked at him and asked. Now, Jian Wushuang said in a low voice. Wine Master nodded and said, make sure you are prepared. Please take care of them, Jian Wushuang said. Don't worry. Experts from alchemy school will look after them, Wine Master said with a smile. Jian Wushuang nodded. He looked at Wang Yuan, Yang Zixuan, and Su Ru once more, then he took a deep breath and departed. After getting the 3 of them situated, Wine Master also left, heading in the direction that Jian Wushuang had gone. In an ancient, vast, and majestic mountain range. At the very center of the mountain range, a giant mountain rose, at least 1,000 feet high. It was known as the Skyward Mountain. A black-clothed young man, Jian Wushuang, was standing at the top of Skyward Mountain with a long sword on his back. Then he sat down and took out several interspatial rings. He got them from the 7 Saint Realm experts of Holy Emperor Palace. After he killed them and took their interspatial rings, he had not had a chance to carefully inspect them until now. 7 interspatial rings in total. He began checking them one by one. He had to admit that the 7 Saint Realm experts from Holy Emperor Palace, who had all comprehended domain, each had a large number of valuable assets that even included some rare treasures, elixirs, manuals, and magic weapons as well. Among the treasures, there was one that even surprised him. He found a big black bow. Though there were no arrows with it, its power was still terrifying. God-killing bow. Seeing it, Jian Wushuang felt surprised and happy. This god-killing bow was a magic weapon, a second-grade magic weapon. Different from other magic weapons, the god-killing bow could gather a large amount of killing power in a matter of seconds. Nice. Jian Wushuang smiled and said, Mo Yun's interspatial ring really had something good. But it still took time to gather power. That's why he didn't use it when he fought with Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang was too fast, so he didn't have enough time. Now, it belonged to Jian Wushuang. The demonic grenades, god-killing bow, and my other means should give me a slim chance of survival. Jian Wushuang believed he had a chance. The fight was unavoidable as long as the blood soul mark stayed on him. His cloned body was destroyed and the new one hadn't formed yet. Therefore, he couldn't secretly replace himself with a clone. There was also no one helping him. He could only rely on himself. On top of the giant mountain, Jian Wushuang was sitting cross-legged. Then he closed his eyes slowly. His breath became steady and his mind calmed down. Half a day quickly passed. Jian Wushuang opened his eyes, which were full of determination. Everything is ready. Both my strength and mind are in a perfect state. I have exhausted all my means and prepared 5 killing moves. Holy Emperor Palace. No matter who you send, with the help of these 5 killing moves, I will be capable of fighting with them head-on. Rumble. A devastating aura rose and surged, causing the whole area to tremble. In the long mountain range, Jian Wushuang wasn't the only one present. There were many experts hiding in the surrounding areas, waiting quietly. News had spread since the battle in Ice Nether Valley a few days ago. And Jian Wushuang was at the eye of the storm because of the blood soul mark. Everyone knew that Holy Emperor Palace wouldn't let him off. They would definitely send one of their holy masters to kill him. So there would definitely be a fierce fight. Therefore, many of them were waiting, filled with expectations. They wanted to see whether Jian Wushuang, a rare genius, would once again be able to create a miracle during this life and death crisis. They had been following and watching him since he left Ice Nether Valley. Now, with Jian Wushuang at the top of Skyward Mountain, it was obvious that others would be here too. The surrounding area was abuzz with discussion. It seems he is going to make his stand here. Because of the blood soul mark, there is no choice but to fight them to the death. If they want to make sure he has no chance to survive, Holy Emperor Palace will have to send out a holy master to deal with him. Which one will come? Many experts were standing in the surrounding area, waiting quietly. Then, one day later, a slender elder in a black robe slowly appeared from off in the distance. He walked slowly, but with each step, he seemed to move 1,000 feet. In the blink of an eye, he had arrived at the center of the mountain range. Floating in front of the Skyward Mountain, he looked down at Jian Wushuang. As soon as the slender elder appeared, the experts in the surrounded turned to face him. They were all dumbfounded. He is Second Holy Master.